Alright, welcome back to Decode Traders Hub. Hello, how are you? I know you guys are having a good time. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Welcome back for this session, and we are ready to start today's analysis. It is a Tuesday, it is the 29th of April, and we are about to end the month. Tomorrow is the last day of the month, Wednesday. It's going to be the last day of the month, and we want to finish in power and of course with great profits. So that's the reason why we're here. But before we do anything, our culture is to first give praise to the God. So let's pray, and then later we start on today's routine. Father, we give you praise. Thank you for your goodness. It is a good morning that you've given unto us. As we start this session, Lord, may you grant us the knowledge that we need. Give us what it takes to be able to make today's money. The market is still slow. Monday and Tuesday, we know they are always slow days for the market, but we know you who gave us profits and a good analysis yesterday, you still can give us the same today, even more than yesterday. So we give you praise for the signal, for the analysis, the knowledge to understand what the market is doing at that particular time, Lord. We give you praise for it, because it is you that provides all things to us. So we give you praise, we love you. Thank you for the profits of yesterday, and thank you even for today's profit as we enter into this session tonight. We give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we prayed. Amen. All right. Amen. Amen. So without any further ado, crash 500 is what it is where we start from. Crash 500. I believe those who followed yesterday's analysis, those who are not part of the signal, the VIP signals, a platform, you also made some money according to according to the analysis we made. Because as far as the VIP signals platform is concerned, we made money. Yeah, we made money. So I'm not sure about you guys. I know if you followed the analysis properly, you should have made enough money. So crash 500. Yesterday, yeah, I've remembered. Yesterday we were at this level. According to H4, we had understood that was our change of character right here. So price retested, and according to H1 it retested, and then actually it sort of retested the whole of yesterday, because we knew we were here yesterday for that change of character. Yeah, according to H4, that was our change of character right there. That was our change of character, because this is a previous lower low, that is a previous lower high right here, came a bit down, then it gave us that breakout on the previous lower high, which became our change of character on H4. So after that, price retested, and now we can see price has started to continue with the buys. According to H1, of course, for it we had already seen the change of character. It is around here. According to H1, that is where it is. But one may have even said this is like a Quasimodo right about there. That was like a Quasimodo, and the price continued into the buys. So right about now, according to H1, this is what I was waiting for. Not actually. At a later stage, it was consolidating. Then it consolidated as it was giving us a flag right there. So when it gave us this fake breakout yesterday, I think I analyzed this before I went to bed. So when I saw this, I quickly knew that it's going to go all the way there. So and that's how. By then it had not even broken out when I made this analysis. So it's coming right there. So all we know is price is getting there. Is it a good trade that we can really try to go to engage in? Not really. I don't trade such. It's very short. This is a short trade from here to there. It means if you enter here, your stop loss should be just down here below this candlestick. That's where your stop loss should be if you decide to enter this buy to take you up there. But me as a person, I'm not going to engage in it. I will just wait for it. According to H4, CCI says we should be looking for sales, but price action gave us the change of character on the H4 right there. According to daily, we need to continue buys. So either way, the major momentum, the trend is an uptrend. So whatever we do, we need to understand we are in an uptrend. According to daily time frame, you can see it right there according to CCI. But then you have to remember that we haven't gotten any change of character on D1 yet. So we so far have a confirmation on H4 right there as our change of character. Yeah, as our change of character. But then we need also to see it on the daily. So I believe we may see price go all the way up here, probably, or to one of those fair value gaps. There's a fair value gap down below that order block on the daily time frame. Let me zoom in a bit, you see what I'm talking about. There's that small fair value gap on daily time frame. Already this one here has been mitigated, so it can decide to first mitigate this because price has not exceeded it yet. This on order block, on daily time frame, it can choose to first mitigate all this, and then we see it come all the way back down. It can happen. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it can happen. It can choose to retest from that very level because that's a fair value gap on daily time frame right here. There's another one up there, but then there's also that order block. The order block on daily time frame. This one right here. That one right there. So it can easily give us that. Let's use fib and we understand what we get to see where we can anticipate our retracement. So yeah, this the order block is above our 38.2. So already we are at 50%, but then in between 50 and 38.2, that's most likely where we normally get our retracement. So there's a possibility of it going all the way up to that order block, but also there's also that possibility to just go in between 50 and 38.2. So what is in between 50 and 30.82? So let's go to H4. If I go to H4, there's that order block. This one right there is the order block that is in between 38.2 and 50%. So we may eventually see price go around that order block or that, but for now let me use the one which is above there so that I can anticipate for the one above, not the one nearer. I can be safe from that point there. So that is how I may anticipate this move right there. So So from there we want it to go there and to come back to where, according to daily. Now according to H4, that would be this fair value gap right here that we left back, and then probably at when it does that, then it will usher us into big moves of buy trend according to daily time frame. So for now, delete this, I don't need it. Even this, I don't need it. I have this, which is matching where I have my TP right there. According to H1, it is matching where I have the TP right there. So if it goes there, we can actually later on see the sales. And clearly, according to H1, we've been overbought for so long. So let's wait and see if we're going to see a reversal right here on H1, but it will be a retracement on H4 and daily time frame to give us actually another low that can usher us into the reversal on the daily time frame. I think that's it for this asset. That's it for this asset. I will be waiting on H1. I'll be waiting on H1 reach there, and then we can see if it is going to react from that level or from the other order block on the daily time frame. We'll be waiting for that. But from H4, according to H4, we are actually going to react from here. So according to H4, we are going to react from there, from that order block. According to H4, that is what I'm seeing. According to H4, we are highly going to react from that order block right there. Why? Because if you look at CCI, the reason why I'm insisting that the chances of reacting from this order block on H4, this one right here, are higher than the one reacting up there, is because if you look at H4 and you look at the CCI, this is when it was overbought, then it started to sell. It never touched oversold right here. It started to go back into buys, and that's where we saw the change of character. So as we speak, it may first want to go again down, just go back down to at least touch the oversold or do the retracement according to the CCI indicator right here that we have. It's a combination of CCI and the RSI. That's the one I use, so it gives me what I need to know most of the times when it is matching with what I have on the main chart. All right, enough of that. I think you get what I'm looking at. Let me go to boom 1000 as we wait for that move on crash 500 to come around. So boom 1000. Boom 1000. So the buy started. Of course, we wanted it to start on that very trend line. According to H4, we are oversold, and we haven't seen. Okay, one may say we've seen a change of character, but it is not that of a big deal right here where we are. But the other thing that we can see is that price is above our 10 MA. So we could say we started. This was like a change of character right there, but we left some fair value gap right there and right down below right here. So there's a possibility of price returning back there. So for now, I have to wait to enter my buys. In fact, according to H1, we haven't seen any change of character yet. Oh yes, we've got it's here. It's right here. That's our change of character right there. Why is it a change of character right there? This is our previous lower low right here. It went to give us a lower high, then after giving us a lower high, it went a bit down, and then instead of going to give us a lower low, it couldn't go all the way down, but we saw that the lower high was taken out, and that became the change of character right there. So that is very significant. And where we are, CCI is already now showing us, CCI according to H1 is already showing us we are overbought, and it has even come. If I can use my fib, you will clearly see why it is overbought and why it needs to retrace. It is within that fair value gap right there, which is part of the premium zone, or the supply zone, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Now that is the zone right there where we are currently. So we can see clearly that price is supposed now to make a retracement to that fair value gap, or all the way down below, wherever it decides. We will be waiting, but it is likely to come to that fair value gap. It is matching with H4, and then we can think of either more buys from there, or price can decide to continue and mitigate that fair value gap, and then it comes back down and then reacts from that same level. Or there's another or, when it is coming, it can decide to continue breaking this daily rising wedge. It's actually a weekly rising wedge right there, because we want to continue with sales. That is an expanding rising wedge, so it can easily break out there and then continue to sell right here. If it breaks out, then you know that the sales are going to continue, but at a later stage, of course, you'll be anticipating a retest, then entry for the sales. But as of now, this is the other option if it decides to break out right here. So that is another option right there, to break out and continue selling, because daily time frame we haven't touched oversold yet, so it means we still have some momentum to sell. On a daily, we are not yet ready to buy. On weekly, for it, it's only that on the other time frame, on the other account is where I can see properly the weekly time frame properly. I'm not sure what happened here, what happened to this account. It only shows me short moves up to here, up to when 2023. It only shows me data of up to 2023. It doesn't give me more data than that, so that's why weekly I don't use it currently on this very account. So for now, I've told you we have three options. Price, according to H1, is likely to react from where we are currently and get back to sales, or to retrace right here, and then we get into buys. But there's a possibility on H4 to actually continue, mitigate that liquidity, and then come back for the sales and mitigate also this liquidity on this fair value gap before we can see more buys. So that is option number 2, to go there, which is according to H4. This one right here, option number 1, is according to H1. From here to here, and then back to buys. Option number 2 is according to H4. Continuation of buys to mitigate that liquidity on H4, and then it comes all the way back to mitigate the one right here, and then we enter buys. Option number 3 is according to daily, because we are still selling, we are not yet oversold, so it still has momentum to sell. both daily and weekly, we are still in a downtrend, so we need sells. So that's all the options, and that's the reason why I'm giving them to you. All right, now I leave that at that. I won't even go to M15 because all I need is to see continuation on H1 or pullback. The reason why we are seeing that pullback, I told you, we are in the supply zone, but also that supply zone we can clearly see a fair value gap. We can see a fair value gap right there, which is supporting that kind of move down below. So do you have an entry? If you wanted to sell on M15, do you have an entry? Not really. M5, yeah, probably M5 you could have gotten an entry, but you could wait. Still, you could wait for something like that. Breakout, change of character, and then retest, and then entry on M5. You could use that. All right, let's now head over to Boom 500. Boom 500. So Boom 500, what happened? Yesterday we were here. I wanted those sales to come, at least react from there, and then we start to look for buys, but it did not happen. The buys, of course, they happened. The sales continued, but even then I didn't get an entry, the clear entry that I needed for me to enter the sale, so I did not make that entry, but the sale continued. Yeah, that was a sale right there. It went all the way back to that order block. Of course, it was already marked, it was a point of interest. It came all the way back to that order block, and that's how yesterday happened. So this order block was, yes, of course at H1 it was not a valid order block, so I think that's why it was disrespected. It was not respected right there, so I can easily delete all that there. So for now, when it did this move, this was our change of character right here. You have to remember that was our change of character. So this was like a pullback to test after change of character too, and then continue. According to H4, that would be very okay. Change of character, pullback, and then we should be continuing with buys according to the price action right here. But if I go to daily, I have no change of character yet. This is my previous lower low right there. That is my previous lower low, and that is my previous lower high. So if that level is taken out right there, that's when I can say I have confirmed that buys have started. So until then, I'm just still, according to Dale, I'm still in a downtrend. But now on H4, we have finally confirmed we have started an uptrend right there when we got that change of character right there. So now that we know on H4 we have a change of character, so we need to look for buys. According to H1, we've mitigated this fair value gap on H4, this one right here, that one right there. We've mitigated it, but not so much. It may still continue with the sales, at least to come in between here to grab that and then continue with the buys. So for now it is no go. If I can go to H1 I mean, then you clearly see that H1 is actually in sales currently and price is below a 10 MA, and this was like, one may say that was like a change of character in going into sales, and that was a pullback, so the sales should be on. I want to remind you that on H1 there's that order block where these buy moves started from. This is where we saw a lot of buyers or a lot of buy positions coming into the market on this point, and that's why you see that kind of a big fair value gap. So I may move out, I may delete this fair value gap, and I may actually now aim at price coming all the way to this level. I may aim at price coming all the way to that level right there, right here. So let me see if I can confirm that on M15. M15 still looks for buys. It's trying to look for buys, but if I look at where I am, according to price action, I should not be looking for buys, I should be looking for sells. This was a change of character right here on M1 and on M15. Why? Because we didn't see any high, so this was a previous high, this is a previous low, and tried to push back, failed. It came and broke that previous higher low. Now this became a lower low, so that is a lower high, so we should be coming in for sales. But I'm not going to enter now. I will enter once I see price going below a 10 MA on M15. That will be my confirmation to make an entry for the sales to bring me all the way to this H1 order block right here. M15 we not really will have only. This is where I'm looking at my entry, my take profit right here when it comes all the way here. So I can delete this and just wait for this move right there. So for now I will leave this at M15. V25S. V25S, according to H4, we need buys to continue right there. Price failed to give us a fake breakout the other on, I think, Saturday. We never got that fake breakout, so we can delete that. This is a valid order block, we can remain with it. According to daily, we are still looking for buys. That's why we need buys to continue like that, and also all the way up there, so you know what we are looking for. According to the structure here, that is a falling wedge, so we know buys are going to continue. Yesterday we were looking for a potential fake breakout to first get back inside here because of that fair value gap, that is liquidity left back, and then we can continue with the buys, but it did not happen. If I go to H1, that's what I was looking for, but M15 had given me that, so I was looking for this pullback. It did not happen. It actually continued buying with some weird momentum. So yesterday we didn't make any entries at all on this asset. So I can easily delete everything right here. That was a fair value gap right there. So we delete it, go to H1, first take off that. So it went to that resistance up there. Once we know that, that's where we have seen price react to. That's a resistance up there, price started to sell. If I go back to H1, if price comes around this level, then it will be trying to give us what? It will be trying to give us heads and shoulder, not one right there. It's a bit weird. See one here. Photo of a cost model pocket. Sort of a cost model right there. So if the sales continue right here where we are, then they will be coming all the way to this fair value gap according to H4. That is the move that we still are looking for. This can be taken out now, we don't need it. I want this to come around here. So according to H1, I'll be anticipating something like this today, but this is my support trend line right there. 2 times price bouncing off that level. This was, remember, this was a breakout right there. This was supposed to be a retest and then continuation of the buys, but then we had left some liquidity down below. According to H1, price is oversold. According to, if you look at CCI, it is overbought, so meaning we need some sales. So the sales that we are trying to plan for on H1, they are anticipated to come for this liquidity, which is according to H4's fair value gap. There are 2. There's that one above, there's this one here. If I use my fib, this one down below is the one likely to be our point of interest. Why? Because it is between 50 and 61.8, so that's why it is likely to be one of our our favorite point of interest for that retracement on H1. So whatever we're doing right now, I can't say we have an entry or we don't. What I can say is I will wait for this move, or if price fails to come again down below, then we'll be seeing a breakout. But this support level may be the one that holds up right there. It may be the one that holds up. So to break it, it may first require price to first grab some liquidity and get enough momentum to push upwards right there and break that. So for now, I'm not saying the breakout is not possible now. I'm saying from what I'm seeing, the momentum is low. There's not much liquidity in the market to actually push the breakout there. So all I can say is for the market to have enough liquidity and push that resistance and break it out, it may first require to first come around here and grab the liquidity that was left on that fair value gap. So that is what I'm saying. So let's wait and see what happens in the market. As far as I'm concerned, we are currently having a low momentum and we can wait for either this move or that move today. Alright, that is on V25 1S. Let's now go to a V75. So what is happening on V75? So we all know that we were looking for sales. This is a rising wedge, so we know that is sales in a later stage. And we saw the breakout, the retest, and the sales continue. So yesterday, was it yesterday on Sunday? Yesterday, this is Sunday, this is Saturday. Saturday we saw a breakout right there. That was a breakout structure right there. So according to H4, we saw the breakout, the breakout structure, which means sales continue. But then it happened on an order block, and that order block is becoming a support as we speak. It's a support level. It's a support level as we speak. If I go back to H1, let's delete these lines. So the support, the breakout structure there. If I go to H1, yesterday, we saw that we wanted price to react back there, grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, and then come back into sales. Did it happen? Not really. It did not. We actually had this, and we took our trade from here. So first delete this. So we took our trade from here. Those who are on Signals platform, you know. So we took our trade from exactly here. When it came back here, that was a sniper entry. So we took our trade from there, and I closed my profits right there because it started to play around, and I don't like trades that play around in one area not moving. So I closed, and that was it. I ended my day from there. Now, after closing, it went back, tested that area. It actually came down, went back, tested the same high because I had seen what it was doing around that area. So, and look at what happened later. Price came all the way back inside, back to that order block. If I can move this a bit, back to that order block right there. It is a support area now, and price still bounced off and went back into buys. As we speak, we first delete everything that we don't need now because we've already seen. Delete that, delete that, delete this line also. This has been mitigated. This is the general thing, and this is the one on H4. Do we still need it? Let's just leave it for now. So if I go back to M15, I clearly see that I have my resistance. I have my resistance area right there. So it is happening right there. So I have my resistance area right there. So when it reached there, you clearly see that according to M15, that was a change of character. right there. High, low, high, then it broke the low right there. So that is where we saw the change of character on M15. But then we have a fair value gap right here. We have a fair value gap right there, and price is coming to it according to M15. But it's likely to, it is a retracement. If you're looking at CCI, that was a buy, now it is coming down to retrace. Probably it will continue with the buy. So what are we going to see in H1? Yes, that is it exactly. It's gonna come here or to that order block, which is a valid order block. Once it does that, then we will see that buy move once again. We remember yesterday we wanted this move to reach there. It did not, but now according to what we are seeing, we may get it. Why? It has touched that level so a lot of times. It's a resistance right there. It has touched it many times, so it needs to come and break it. Remember, when it breaks it, this is like, now if one can see it clearly in H1, one may say it's a horizontal channel. If you can see it in that manner, you will see that it is a horizontal channel right there. And we know if it breaks out, it will give us this exact move right there. But then for us, all that we need is to grab that liquidity, so we will still increase it to that level. Why? Because that's where we see liquidity left back, and it is in the supply zone. It is in the supply zone, or the premium, if you can use the premium term. It is in the premium if we used our fib. So all we need, price to get back there, but it's first going to come either to this order block or react from the fair value gap. If we want the reaction of the fair value gap, it will have to first go at least half of that fair value gap, 50% of that fair value gap. It's when I normally look for my entries. 50% of that fair value gap, that's when I can look for my entries. But it's likely, like I said, this order block right here, this candle, is a valid order block. That's where the most buy entries started from, right there on that order block. So it can easily still come for this order block on that candle. I don't know if I'm confusing you. Those who have studied these things with me in the mentorship program, I believe I'm not confusing you as we are talking right now, because you'll be seeing everything just like we have been discussing. So let me first delete that. Let me wait for this. If I get a move, then we can clearly enter it and look for those buys to take us right about there. So for now, it's still a no-go for me. But yesterday we made money. Congrats to those that are on VIP, because we made that money. It was a good move, gave us enough money at least for a day like a Monday. The way the market is, it's good money for us. All right, so this I will leave it at M15. Let's now head over to Jump 50. We have about 12 minutes. I have two more assets, so let's do this. Jump 50. Jump 50. Jump 50 exactly, it did exactly what we wanted yesterday. I missed the entry. I missed the entry. I don't know. Oh yes, I missed it because I was in other two more entries, V75 and I think Jump 10. Yeah, that's why I was caught up the other side, and I failed to monitor this to actually make an entry. So what happened was, we wanted this move, then pull back. that pullback right there is where we are supposed to make our entry, right there. So the entry started, but then I couldn't make the entry, and I decided, when it gave me this, I decided late night to actually make the entry and continue the sales, but I had already decided to move out of the market, or it was here actually. I had already decided to move out of the market, so it started and I quickly closed it. I had already decided to move out of the market, so I quickly closed it, but you can see it continued with the sales. And then when it reached our point of interest right here, that order block, immediately the buys started. This is the order block that we wanted price to reach to, so I can delete that. I can first leave that one. These ones can all go. These all can go now. So go to M15. Actually, H4. Let's first look at H4. So we've touched that order block. This is an order block on H1, and we are oversold on H1. On H4, we should now get to see some buys. This was like a pullback. No. According to H4, if you look closely right here, we never touched oversold. So it means the sales are still on, according to H4. So there's a possibility of price reacting on H1 back to where? I don't know. Start fair value gap up there. That's the only point of interest I see. This order block is not that of a much big deal right here. It's not a big deal, so may not clearly use it. Yeah, this is the point of interest. So if I use my fib, I will clearly see that this level that I want is the one that is above our 38.2, which is in premium zone. But then this small fair value gap is the one that is right where we need such a retracement. That small fair value gap right there, it's between 38.2 and 50%. So this move right there to come and continue with the sell and reach that order block, or that, yeah, it is actually an order block in H1 all the way down below right here. If I can use this and go all the way here, you will see it's right there. It should be an order block. So I will use H4, and it will be coming to touch that order block. So for now, I'm seeing buys. I have 2 points of interest. One is a fair value gap. One is a fair value gap on H1 right there, which is all the way higher than where we anticipate our retracement to be, but it's not. We know it can still reach there. So we have that, and then we have that one up there. Then we have that and this. So price can easily do that. Those are our 2 points that we can anticipate price to come back to. So for now, this is my plan. but then on H1 we haven't started to buy until we see a change of character right here, right there, until we see that. If we see that, then we can know that we have started to buy, and this buy will take us right there or there. We'll be waiting to see what comes out there. I think that's it on this asset. That's it. M15, this was like a change of character right there. M15 pull back right here to that fair value gap, pull back to that fair value gap, and the buy started on M15. So one may enter now and go with M15, or you can wait for H1 to give us a pullback. Oh, we missed a good entry. This one here, this was a good entry. Wow, this was a good entry for us to make this money. Wow. I've missed it. This was a very good entry for us on M15 and M5. So it's very good. It was very good. Let's see what else has it left back. Not really, nothing. This is not a valid order block, no fair value gap, so it's going to continue buying. It's going to continue buying until it breaks that to give us a change of character on H1. Alright, anyways, let's leave that alone. We'll wait for another good entry. We can't force a trade now. If you enter here, that means you're going to have your stop loss all the way down below. So it's up to you. If you can enter, then enter, but I'm not forcing any entry. I will wait for a clear one. Jump 25. We have about 3 minutes time, but jump 25, so it means we're going to add in some more minutes. Jump 25, this one, yeah, there's a trade. I never shared it with the signal guys, but I want to first delete this. That, what else? That, let's leave it. Did that, okay. So let's go back here. So yesterday, this was yesterday, here and here and in between here. So we had this channel. It was according to M15. So I remember telling you, once price comes in between this fair value gap, I will be looking for the entry. And of course, clearly I made my entry, but I never shared that signal because this momentum of this sell was still a lot. So I entered here, but again I made another limit order right here, which was activated, I believe. Let me see. Oh, the first entry was a poor one right there. Then the second entry was there. So I never made another entry right here. But my stop loss was here. I could not afford to lose beyond this level. So my stop loss was very tight right there. And that's how I made money on this asset yesterday, the V25. So this one took it out there. When it came and gave me, I broke even on this very entry, but later after moving out, it made this retest and look at where it went all the way up there. So that was one. Then the other entry, this was a buy, and also here still made some small money here because I started to see some pattern of it trying to go into sales. So I moved out and called it a day on that asset. So it was like scalping kind of moves. That's why I never shared them. I never shared all these. So now I can easily delete everything right here, right there, right there, right there. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Yeah. Oh, that is interesting. Actually, I've just deleted it, but it is interesting. So if I use this like this and this right here, that will be my descending triangle right there. That will be a descending triangle. So price first gave us a fake breakout and then gave us a change of character right here today. Yep. And then this was a retest right there after the change of character, and then the sales started. Right now we can see that we have gotten a break of structure right here. According to M15, this will be like a break of structure right here, but then we are now looking at a retest. We left back this order block, but also if I can delete that, we also left this fair value gap right there on the break of structure. So according to the structure, according to price action, we should be looking at sales, return there on the breaker block, then continue into sales. But something weird from CCI showing us we are oversold, meaning we should be looking for buys. If I go to H1, I want to see if it is aligning with what we are looking at. Yeah, clearly H1, actually, if I do that on H1, then that's what I'll be having. Still almost the same thing, descending triangle, but then this will be now the fake breakout. Why? Because H1 is looking at mitigating this and then continuing with the buys. That is what H1 is going to be looking at. So let's look at that. So M15 is gonna come here. So this is going to be our entry, at least right there. If it doesn't go there, then I have no entry. I need it to mitigate that fair value gap, and then I wait for it in between this fair value gap or to that order block. So it can easily actually come to that order block. Since this order block is a big one, I may delete it and have the order block be the one that I anticipate and wait for my entry from. So this would be the move. This would be the move right there. So according to M15, I need this and then enter sales. I'm not now looking at CCI. CCI is showing me that I need to actually buy, but if I go to M5, same thing on M15, so I'll be waiting for, actually M30 is the one that is showing me this move right there properly. So that's what I'll be waiting for right there, and then it comes all the way to that order block. Then I can anticipate my buys from there to come all the way to that order block. Alright, so for now this is a no. I need to see price reach here or reach this order block right there. So until then, I have no business with this asset, but it's likely to give us money today. So either it goes there or here, and then we start to enter. The reason I'm looking at this level is because of the breaker block, where it broke the structure from to continue with the sales. That's the reason why I'm looking at this, but it may easily go even up there to grab that money. Why? Because that is, if you're using if you're using Fibonacci right there, you clearly see that, oh, actually this level is between 50 and 38.2. So it's either this or that, even though this is quite above our retracement level that we normally look at. So I'll follow this. If I get an entry on this level, I will have no excuse to enter. All right, last asset, and we call it a day. Jump 10. Jump 10, we made money, but then it later started to play around. So if we can go to MH1, let's see, where did we make our entry? I think it was right here when it did this. We go to M15 when it did this. Let's see. Yeah, this was our entry when it came and touched that level, that fair value gap. That's what we were waiting for yesterday. So it came, touched it, and immediately I started my buy. So when it started to play around here, I immediately closed, but it went all the way up to those highs. That was our first TP, you know. So I shared this with the guys on Signal, so they should have made enough money yesterday on that. And then it started to play around. I hope you guys, I remember telling you that J10 is now on the resistance, so you can move out if you want to. So that's what happened right there. So delete that, delete this, it's mitigated, move that. So let's look at today. So according to H4, we wanted price to mitigate and reach that level. That's why my TP was there. So we still have momentum. Momentum is slow, but the price action, we haven't seen any change of character, so it means we are still in a buy trend according to H4. According to daily time frame, we are overbought right there. We are overbought, meaning we need to look for sales. We even reached that order block right there. So what are we looking at now? Let's look at H1. H1, we haven't gotten any change of character yet. Also, yep, yeah, we haven't gotten any change of character, so it means we are still in a buy trend also. So if that's the case, M15 should be in a buy trend. So M15 clearly is having the momentum of the buys to push us up there. Remember, all we need is price to touch that order block. Is it an order block? It's a resistance level. It's a resistance level. But then you can see our TPs right there. Our TP is right there. So we need price to reach that level. Then we can be satisfied that we can now start to look for sales. So for now I can't do anything. I think I may have to leave this asset today. I may not trade it at all today. Yeah, because of the momentum, I may not trade it today. I may have to leave it. I may have to leave this asset today. I may have to leave it because of the momentum it is having. So now that we know we have that kind of range, we have those parameters there to guide us in the range that we are in. This was very good entry right there. It was supposed to be a good entry right there. Pull back to that fair value gap and continuation was very good. That was good. Push all the way back to that, or even break it and continue into the highs right there to reach that level. So for now, I may not trade this asset at all today. So this is a no-go for me. I will leave it until further notice. Delete this. I will leave this asset jump 10. I will not trade it. Probably if it comes back again to this trend line, then I can look at trading it, but until then, no, this is a no-go for me. So I think that's it for today. Let's do a recap and we call it a day. I want to remind everyone that I officially opened the VIP subscription for the month of May. So those who are ready, those who want to be part of the VIP group for signals, and then this is the right time to do your registration. Those who are already in the VIP, they've already started to subscribe, so to resubscribe for the next month. So even you guys who are in the VIP, it's time to resubscribe. Those who want to get the services in the next month. So that is an advert for you guys. I wanted to remind you that we officially opened for subscription for the month of May. Alright, so this failed to reach that level, but then out of nowhere something happened on M15, and that is a change of character right there. According to M15, yeah, it is just started to sell. I needed it to reach there, it did not. Wondering why it did not. So M50, oh, H1 is selling, H1 is selling, but then it doesn't make sense. Where did this level, where did it stop at? Let's do this. Fair value, that fair value gap was very small, significant. What? So weird. Anyways, it's all good. So it has decided to start selling on H1, but still we have no change of character on H1, so we have it on only on M15. So M15 is the one selling, H1 is not yet into sales. We will wait for this pullback. We'll wait for that pullback. We'll wait for that pullback right there, then we can enter those sales if it gives it to us. Alright, that is on H1. On crash 500, boom 1000. This, I may say, it's a no-go. Please don't waste your time on this. Of course, we know we have three options: price to continue up there, or actually on H1 to come down to sell and come to this fair value gap and then start the buys again. The other last one is to continue when it is selling, to continue and break that previous low and continue with the sales right there. Break that previous low, lower low, then it continues with the sales. Those are our three options, but it's likely, according to H1, we are clearly seeing that sales are coming in. Only what we want is a change of character. That's what will confirm that we have started to sell on H1. Boom 500, the pullback has started, so we want sales. We want sales to come around there. According to H1, that is what we need. There's a fair value gap on H1 right there, but also there's an order block up there that is likely to react from this fair value gap. So we will wait for that to come around. So for now, all we need is from there to here to there. Volatility 25s. We need price to come here, grab liquidity, but There's also an option, I said, there's also an option of price breaking and continuing with the buy. But we wanted price, we were looking at price grabbing this liquidity from this fair value gap before it goes with the buys. That was on V25S. V75, it has touched the fair value gap, but we need it to at least go halfway of that fair value gap before we can look for the buys. There's also another possibility of price coming all the way back to this trend line, which is we've known that we are in a channel, but in this time around we are likely not to go back to that level. We are likely to react from that fair value gap and then get into buys and actually break out and continue and touch and grab that liquidity on that fair value gap. So I'm waiting. This trade is a must for us. This one right here, V75, we're going to make money on it today, I believe. So I have a feeling. Jump 50, it's still a no-go. There's that fair value gap. Jump 50 on M15. We have pullbacks that we can anticipate on H1, pullbacks to break out and go all the way up and then come stronger to reach this order block on H4. So for now, M15 is in buys. It gave us a change of character, but then H1 hasn't given us a change of character. So if H1 gives us a change of character, then this pullback is on to get all the way up there. So but until then, until we see a change of character, we are still in a downtrend. We are still selling this asset. Jump 50, it has reached that level. Do we have an entry? According to price action, we should be having an entry. But then if I put my entry here, it means my stop loss is going to be up there. So all I have to do is first go to M. Oh yes, according to H1, M1, I think I should be entering my entry right here. I'll enter with 0.03, but let me wait for a change of character on M1. M1 is going to give me a change of character, so let me leave this on M1. I will have to enter this now that it has reached that level. It's my trade. This came around. Wait a minute, that was fast. Fair value up. Oh yes, we said we missed an entry there. We know that it is going to continue, but I said it's a no-go for me because of the momentum. So it's a no-go for me, for real. So I don't think I will trade it. I will wait and see if it gives me an entry. If it comes back, then I can probably enter it, but it's having a low momentum, so I may not enter it. These are some of the trades that you enter and you spend the whole day when they are in one spot not moving. I hate those trades. That's why I normally don't trade them. If I trade them, if I spend in like 1 or 2 hours, I quickly close them. I don't have time to waste on them. So these are some of those trades that are normally very slow. So for now, I'm not going to focus my time on this. I will focus it on V75 and probably V50, jump 50. Jump 50, if it gives me that, then I can easily look for it. Yeah, even this, I need a pullback, then I can look at entry for the sell. This is on jump 25. The rest of the assets, they are all, of course, Monday and Tuesdays, they are always slow. So the rest of the assets, they are still slow. Oh, actually also this is likely to give us an entry. When we see this kind of a pullback, then we know we will have ourselves a trade to enter sell zone crash 500. So let's wait and see what comes around. Perfect. This has done what we wanted. That pullback there, that was quick. Do Do we have an entry? According to M30, we do have an entry. Was it a fair value gap? A change of it was a fair value gap. Oh, no, I have to wait still. I need it to be halfway. I need it to be halfway. That's how I normally confirm my entry on change of color on fair value gap. So I need it to be halfway so that I can make my entry there. All right, so that's it for today. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. At 1, we are going to have a BTC analysis, and we'll look at BTC. And of course, for the VIP, I'm still with you guys. I'll be sharing when we can make entries of these trades that we've discussed right here. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you guys tomorrow, same time. Have a nice day.